see someone with green beads who has undergone some facial surgery. On the computer screen we see that it is Morgan Edge who has changed his face and voice. Suddenly Lex appears who knows that it is Edge. Lex blackmails him, so when Edge asks him what he wants, he says that he conspired with his father to kill his grandparents and split the insurance money. He wants Edge to tell the whole story. When they see the aftermath where Edge says that he blew up the building and Lionel got rid of his parents, they both got the insurance payment. Lex's guard Darius is worried since Lionel has been calling. As Lex puts away the tape into his safe box, we see someone on the roof. The man comes down and as he aims at Lex he hides. Darius gets shot. The man shoots at Lex but he manages to get away. But there's also a second guy. Lex hits the first guy and then jumps out of the window. The assassin somehow keeps missing. Clark suddenly finds Lex in his barn. He can't go to the hospital or the police. Lex says it was either his father or Morgan Edge since he has evidence of them which was supposed to be delivered to the US attorney. Clark then goes to the mansion to retrieve the evidence. Everything looks alright. When he opens the box, the evidence is gone. When the man asks him what he wants, Clark says he was looking for Lex and Darius. The man says that it is early. But Clark finds a shattered piece of glass. He tells Lex that everything looked fine. Lex says that they cleaned up everything. He then shows him the piece. Since Chloe has been investigating Lionel, Clark wants her to come with him for her to be safe. When he arrives home, Lionel is there who asks Clark if he knows where Lex is. When he denies knowing, Lionel says Lex is seriously ill and needs help. Lex had supposedly a psychotic break on the island and he's suffering from paranoid delusions. When Clark enters the barn, he sees Lex downstairs singing a lullaby. He says he needs to put the baby to sleep, who's his little brother Julian. Clark then tells his parents about it. Julian was his kid brother that died. He tells them that Morgan Edge had plastic surgery. Jonathan thinks those are all delusions and he needs help. But Lex heard it and is angry. When he tells Clark he's with him or against him, Clark takes off with him. When they come to the place he met Edge, we see that it's a sewing factory now. Lex is confused and he grabs his neck again. He says they covered it up and tries to force the guy working to confess, but it doesn't work. At the mansion, we see Darius alive. Lex says that he is in on this and then drinks. We then suddenly see his psychiatrist. When Lex says he has proof, she says it's true. Lex threw a vase through the window during their last session. When she gives him a sedative, he says that she works for his father and then takes Darius' gun away and then tells him to get down. He tells Clark that they'll put him in a padded cell and try to make him seem insane because he found out about Lionel and Edge. Clark then brings him to Lana's stable and tells her to stay with him as he goes to Chloe to find out if he's being drugged. He then hands her the sedative and tells her to look into his psychiatrist and the 2 cards. Chloe also found in Lex's medical record that after his brother's death, he was singing a lullaby to a wrapped up blanket. Clark should consider that Lex is losing his mind. When Lana offers Lex a drink, he thinks it's drugged and takes off. As she follows him, he throws her into the horse's stable. She then gets kicked and stomped on. When Clark arrives, she's unconscious with a twisted leg. Lex then stops the car and hits the person inside and throws him to the side. The car has a rifle in it. At the hospital, Lionel tells Clark that he should have told him to avoid all of this. Chloe then says that the analysis shows that the sedative was ordinary, but they could have been dosing Lex for weeks through the food and drinks served at the mansion. Clark asks Darius how he drugged Lex and then takes him down. He says that they drugged his scotch. He was contacted by someone anonymously. Clark says that he must tell them to come to Smallville stables by noon with a bag full of cash or he'll go to the cops. Lex suddenly barges into Lionel's office. When he accuses him, he admits it but says that Edge was behind it all. Lex then says that he'll wake Julian. Lionel doesn't blame him for accidentally killing his brother Julian. Under pressure, Lionel then gives him Edge's address and then gets knocked out. At the stable, someone aims at Clark. He grabs him from behind and forces him to confess who hired him. When they see a mansion and Edge is there with his security, they hear something and the guard goes to check. After he hears the noise, we see the man unconscious. Lex then grabs him. Edge says that he would have been dead if he wanted to. It was Lionel's idea to drug him as he didn't want to lose another child. He then says that his neck pain is a side effect of the drugs. Lionel made sure he'd go crazy. As Lex wants to shoot, Clark takes away the gun, but suddenly gets weak since Edge took a precaution with the meteor rocks. Lex thinks he's in it as well, but Morgan then begins beating him up. However, Lex shoots him in the shoulder and says he'll kill Clark as he's part of them. When he wants to shoot, Edge is getting away. Lex then begins shooting at his car and kills Edge. As he's about to be hit, Clark pushes him away and stops the car with his body. Lex witnesses and says that he was right about him all along. When the psychiatrist arrives, they don't see Clark anywhere. As he panics, he's taken away. When Lana wakes up, she asks about Lex. He isn't doing well. She says that she almost died and he's right. It is dangerous to be around Clark. From now on, she will stay away from Clark. We then see Belle Reef Sanatorium. Dr. Foster tells Lionel that after his treatment, he won't have any short-term memory left. Lionel says that he left him no choice. He then looks at Lex who's tied up. When Lex approaches the mirror, Lionel has tears in his eyes.